What do you do when the whole world is going digital? Your company has been on the market for nearly 70 years, and you have over 50,000 employees. This takes nothing short of a continental shift. The Otto story is the exceptional case of a traditional big catalog company that has successfully managed to make the jump into the digital space and the digital mindset. When our next speaker, Melanie Schlegel, started at Otto in 2014 to head up paid search for their online platform Otto.de, she met the chairman of the board, Mark Opelt. She told him, guess what? I am going to triple ad spend for paid search. To which he replied, great, but what about ROI? Melanie's answer to this question, by the way, was to triple the key KPIs for paid search together with her team. She's built her team from the ground up as a motor for digital growth and innovation within the Otto Group, and we are so happy to have her here with us today. Melanie, welcome.
Hello there. Thanks for having me. Unfortunately, I have to use my computer because we do not have the notes downstairs, and so we can only stare on pictures, which is not that cool. So thanks for having me. Everybody has a seat, OK? Yes, I'm going to tell you something about Otto. Who is Otto? This is one of our buildings in Hamburg, and Otto is about nearly 3 billion euros revenue last year. We are about nearly 3 million products for over 7,000 brands on our page now. We are more than 6 million active customers on our page. We recruited more than 500 new employees only last year. We do tech invests for over more than 100 million euros this year. And for sure, we are part of the Otto Group, which is about the 50,000 employees worldwide. Let me get back to Otto in a few seconds, but first I want to talk about a bit digital transformation within the Otto Group. Our business is transforming, as each and every one of us can imagine, because things are getting more and more digital. And for example, now I need to click here. More of 50% of our revenues are now coming from mobile, which means when you come from a catalog, as we do, the catalog might not be the main channel for you anymore. Participate is one of our main topics, which means that we have 120 companies within the Otto Group who have different ideas, different ways to challenge the future and challenge the e-commerce growth, so we can do it all together in one hand and to participate from all those great ideas. And therefore, it means to create great and new solutions and great ideas. And venture, we do have a lot of startups within the group as well, and do have a lot of VCs in more than, I guess now, 100 startups worldwide. OK, now let's start with Otto. This is how Otto started in 1950. We were founded in 1949 from Werner Otto, who came as a refugee to Hamburg with not more than an idea of a better future in mind. He started a shoe production firm and failed, got back on track, and started with only 3 employees, a mail order business for shoes. And his assistant had the great idea to make photos of those shoes and to create this first catalog. Bless you. Our first catalog effort offered 28 pairs of shoes and was made 300 times by hand. And yes, I said it, now we are a worldwide company. Home shopping. Shopping from your couch was not invented in the moment the internet came up, but we did it in the 70s and 60s as well. And one of our oldest clients did her first order in 1951. This is still an active customer for us now. Thanks to her for that. And she places each and every single year offers for more than 2,000 years at our company. So there must be something we're doing right. Next day delivery, Prime, Amazon Prime, and so on and so forth. Well, click again here. No, click again back. We invented it in the 90s. And this is how we looked when the internet was invented 25 years ago. Things changed. This is how mobile marketing looked in the 2000s. And I don't have an idea which mobile phone this might be, but not an iPhone. And influencer marketing, well, we did it before, did we? We put influencers on our covers long before there was even a word for that, neither a marketing channel on its own or whatever. Well, I said it before, the catalog is not our main channel to communicate with our customers anymore. And as you might have heard, the catalog will die. The main catalog will die. In December this year, we will send out the last version of our catalog, and we need to say thank you, but times change it. Purchases are now made by over 90% online. This is why we invest in a digital future. This is why we have good ideas and maybe great ideas to get in touch with our users where the users are. More than 50 purchases are now on online on mobile devices, and more than 70% of our visits come from mobile devices. But is this all? Is this 50% revenue all? Well, maybe, but this is all we can see via our attribution model so far. I guess the percentage of the revenue might be even higher, but this is all we can see. Our attribution model tracks in a dynamic mode each and every click, and since the beginning of this year, the views coming from display channels, for example, as well, and include them in the attribution model when another action takes place within the next 10 minutes of the view. And next adventure in getting in touch with our users, probably the app. The app is now responsible for more than over 25% of our revenues. And as you can see here, more male users come to Otto via the app. And they are very much younger than the typical Otto user, which is quite cool for us because it's a new way to interact with a new customer group. But again, tracking is not that easy when it comes to attribution. These are the figures when the users are in our store. But how do we interact with them? These are a few of our marketing channels which we use. We use in-house blogs. We use TVC commercials as well. We use out-of-home, but for sure we use online and performance marketing as well. And digital marketing altogether is now responsible for more than 75% of all of those 3 million visits each and every day. Powerful communication on all of those relevant market channels is our main goal, because our strategy is to present different product groups and different items coming from a customer perspective, which means we are selling not everything you can imagine, but we are selling fashion as well as electronics as well as living items, starting from furnitures up to pillowcases or candles. This means when you want to interact with your users, when you want to interact with a user looking out for a washing machine, it's a total different way to interact maybe with the same person when he has the need to buy she needs to buy a pillowcase. I guess not so many guys will buy pillowcases. And we use all the tons of data coming from all those visits and clicks to make the customer experience better, but not only the online signals, but as well signals or better results from our very own user experience lab as well. To use all those data, we created our own algorithms and our own attribution model. As I said it before, we created a cross-device tracking and a pretty good forecast on ROI on each click. We created tons of boards and dashboards and analytics tools, for example, for more than 240,000 orders on one day, or identifying, for example, bot clicks, bot visits, which can go up to nearly 40% each day. Why is this important? Because we spend tons of euros in our marketing channels. For example, a very high amount for Google as well, nearly 10 million euros each and every month. And you can imagine that you have to do it the right way. And we use this as well to be more flexible with our human resources. For sure, we do have much more employees than we had in the past, but shall they really only doing Excel sheets and so on? No, they shall create great and good ideas. And this is why we decided to automate tons of processes in our company. For example, we created our own bid management tool, our own DMP, our own tracking, and for a higher degree of automation and flexibility in the features. And this is how we create participation and creative opportunities for our employees as well. But what's next? Doing good online marketing and being a retailer might not be the answer for the future. What we are doing is we transform our business model into a platform model, into a market space. And why do we do that? To create networks effects between our customers, our visits, and more brands in future. As I said, now we are around about 7,000, but there are more. And in future, we want to open up for those brands and other dealers to get in touch with their products and maybe new users in future on our platform. This 8 do have 2 parts. One, the B2B side. Brand Connect is our key driver to do a B2B development. It's the easy self-service way for brands to place their products on Otto. And on the second side, the customer will receive not only a bigger variety of products, but as well all of our services we had in past and all of our services we will create in future, which might be a pretty good package, and a pretty good package even in comparison to, for example, Amazon. We do have, We do have a lot of digital innovations made by Otto too. On top, you can see a like. A like is an app you should try out if you want to buy new furniture. You can take a picture of a furniture, and it will browse around the internet to find you similar products. Not only on Otto sites, but on other sites as well. And we did a lot of transformation for our digital future in our mindset. Why? because you can imagine not only our oldest user is from the 50s, maybe our employees are not only in their 30s as well. So what do? To create this new culture, we created lunch breaks, we created poetry slams, we created innovation days, but we created, for example, fuck-up nights as well, where you can present your failures, share it with your colleagues, and party that you do a failure and not do it again. And this is how we change how we work together, and it's no longer formal, it's no longer the business we had been in the 60s or 70s, but we are now more like a mobile company, again a startup. If you think back to what I said before, started with Werner Otto and only 3 employees. Well, that's a startup, right? We are now getting back to that in a digital way. We started to say "du" to each other, which is not so funny in English. You can say "you" to me, but in German it was a major mind shift in our company 2 years ago. Then our C-level decided that we don't have to say Dr. Otto, but we can say Michael to Dr. Otto, which is pretty cool, I guess, because it lowers boundaries and makes it so much easier to work together. So sum them up. More ideas, less processes, more automation, more courage. Use your heritage, use where you come from, and don't be afraid to fail, because you can stand up again, and then you can build a multi-billion company. You don't have to be a shoe producer when you can sell shoes on the internet as well. And keep in touch with the younger ones, and don't forget the older ones, and then hopefully I will see you someday as a probably new client of Otto. Thank you.
Melanie, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Let's take a couple of questions from the audience. Do you have something that you'd like to start with?
What is our competitive advantage against Amazon and Zalando? Well, Zalando only sells fashion. We do have a bigger variety of products. Zalando has done and will do a great job, and we don't want to compete with Zalando in the first place. Maybe our company About You want to do, but not Otto on its own. I guess what we did great in the past and will be great in the future will be our service perspective, and not when it comes to fashion, but for example, when it comes to electronics and furniture, we do have a quite good service, starting with next-day delivery and install services, guarantees, and so on and so forth, which you cannot find at Amazon at this time. And I guess this is a quite advantage for us.
I quite like this question about, is the catalog dead, or will an enhanced catalog that brings online and offline together be important?
The main catalog is dead. The big one. You can remember the big one, which came twice a year, which was heavy as a stone and around 1,000 sites big, and there was only one catalog for all. We do more print than ever, but we do it more focused on different kind of user and customer groups. So, the main catalog is dead, but there will be catalogs, there will be prints, there will be postcards, there will be letters in future as well, because we still believe in this as a marketing channel.
About being very targeted and specifically focused on individuals rather than having one.
For example, H&M does have a catalog as well, and I'm not sure if Amazon did ever started catalogs, but as I said, H&M does have one, which is pretty good, and tons of other companies do have a catalog as well.
I think there will always be a place for print. Yes. It's a question of how you implement that as a channel.
Yes.
Sorry again for sneezing so loud. I love this. I think we'll take this as the final question. How did you skill up and extend your workforce to drive the transformation? So what did you maybe do personally in your team to make sure they were ready for jumping into this digital transformation?
Encourage them to fail, really. We do have such an amount of money which we can use each and every month. But is this the right way to do it over and over and over again in the same way? No. Take some of the money, reach your goals with the rest, and then take it as risk money and just try out something new. And don't bother me with each and every idea. Just start, fail, start over again, but not forget to share it with all the others. And be proud of your success as well, which is so important. Not only share your failures, but share your success as well, and share what you did pretty good in the first place. And I really encourage each and every one of my 20 employees, starting with a junior, which is 23, up to my seniors, to really come up with good ideas and always put themselves on the other side of the table and try to imagine what does someone really needs when he or she is looking out for a washing machine, or he or she is looking out for a new black dress. Is it really the washing machine, or is there a problem with the older ones? Is it broken, and you want to go on vacation in 2 days and you have to clean up all your children's clothes? Then you fucking need a washing machine within probably the next 6 hours. And a black dress is not a black dress. A black dress is for a special occasion. You want to look elegant or sexy or whatever. And this is what I always want to have back in the minds of my employees. Try to find the best answer for the customer. Or as my CEO said it a few days ago in an interview, don't fall in love with the solution, fall in love with the problem, and fall in love with the user behind that, and then create the best solutions you are ready to, and you are able to.
Wow, what a final message. I love this. Fall in love with the user, fall in love with the problem. That is so excellent. Melanie, thank you so much for joining us on stage today. We really appreciate it.